Hello again, this is Lesson 5, Part 7, Planning Ahead After Death Care Options. In planning ahead, we are able to prepare for a loss. I think one thing that our pet owners sometimes forget is that death is not a matter of if, but when it's going to occur. We don't always know when that's going to happen. We don't always have the ability to allow that to happen through euthanasia. But when we have the ability to plan ahead, we can help to reduce stress in our pet owner's life because being prepared for something helps to make it a little bit less stressful. Pet owners who are prepared, who have the ability to prepare for loss, generally have a better loss experience because we're able to support them. They have the support that they need throughout the loss experience, whatever the duration that may be. There are, of course, times where we have unexpected losses. An animal is injured unexpectedly, or an animal is brought in very close to the end of life and a pet owner is not suspecting it. So those unexpected losses are difficult. And then, of course, we do have the times where we have pet owners who are completely adequately prepared, but the unexpected happens, and we kind of have to throw our plans out the window. But that doesn't give us enough reason to not encourage planning and preparing for a loss. Whenever we have the ability to prepare, we can make things go a little bit more smoothly. In addition to deciding how, when, and who will be present for a euthanasia, once the animal is deceased, we have a lot of decisions that need to be made, and there are a lot of options available. Pet owners, you don't know what you don't know, so if pet owners don't know what is available to them, they will not ask for it. So it's our job as veterinary professionals to let our pet owners know what types of things are available for them after their pet is deceased. We have burial options. There are animal cemeteries all over the country, all over the world. We need to make sure that we know which ones are close in vicinity to our hospitals so that we can let our pet owners know that these resources are available. The other thing is that when people are telling me that they are considering burial, we always ask about future relocation. Just something to consider is that if you do bury your pet in a pet cemetery and you end up moving away, are you going to be okay that your pet is not going to be able to come with you? Especially when people are burying at home, although most towns have ordinances against burying in the backyard, so we strongly encourage pet owners to seek pet cemeteries as opposed to burying in the backyard. But we need to remind pet owners that if they ever move, wherever their pet is buried, that pet should probably stay with them. Although we do have the occasional pet owner who chooses to hire the cemetery to come and help them dig up a pet that they have buried so that they can transport it to a new location. But honestly, in my experience, no pet owner is prepared for what is unearthed when we have to dig up a pet for relocation purposes. So being able to consider that before we make the decision to bury, I think might be helpful for pet owners in the long run. Cremation, we have the option to do group cremation where we have a significant number of animals all cremated together. Those ashes will then be disposed of or scattered depending on the licensure of the crematory. If the crematory is licensed as a disposal facility, they are able to dispose of the ashes. If they are licensed as non-disposal, then they typically have a place where they can scatter the ashes that pet owners can go and visit. So it's important that as veterinary professionals we are aware of the services and the type of licensure that our crematory companies have so that we can properly inform pet owners on the types of services that we are providing through them. Pet owners can have a private cremation where they have their pet cremated by themselves in the crematory chamber, and then they can get their pet's ashes returned to them. There are a lot of options for urns. We have urns that look like urns. They look like traditional urns that hold ashes, but then we have other urn options available where pet owners can get a vase or a monument or a statue or even a necklace pendant that is filled with ashes. So there are a lot of options available for storing ashes once an animal has been privately cremated. We can also do a partitioned cremation, which is essentially a group cremation just with a smaller number of animals in the crematory chamber. If we are using a crematory service that offers partitioned cremation, it is important for us as veterinary professionals to let pet owners know that when they are doing a partitioned cremation, that they are not getting all of their pet's ashes back. They are getting ashes back that is mixed with a small group of animals. So I think just the definitions need to make sure that we're clarifying those with pet owners so that they don't think that they're getting just a cheaper version of a private cremation. A partitioned cremation is still a group cremation, it's just a smaller group. Then we have taxidermy and freeze drying options. These are not very common options for after-death body care. But when pet owners bring them up, we kind of have to work through that decision-making process with them as well. So knowing what resources are available, where they can go for these options, is going to be helpful for our pet owners. When pet owners tell me that they want to do freeze-drying or taxidermy, I ask what they're looking to preserve. We have to remember that they're not getting their pet back. In my experience, I've been working in the veterinary field for close to 20 years. And in my experience, the 3 pet owners total that I've seen who have pursued taxidermy, none of them have been happy with the results. And I think it's because they're trying to restore or preserve the memories that they have of their living animal in the house. So they're looking for this visual reminder that their animal is still there. But when they get the animals back, it's not their animal, it's a statue, a replicated statue of their animal. And pet owners that I've seen that have done this have been disappointed with the results. In one extreme case, I saw a woman who had her cat taxidermied, and she brought it home and her other cats in the household started attacking it. She ended up putting the taxidermied cat in a closet, and then she had cats who started peeing on the closet and started ripping up the carpeting on the floor by the closet door. So she ended up bringing the taxidermied cat to our clinic and asking if we wanted it, and we don't want somebody else's taxidermied cat. So she ended up burying the cat elsewhere after paying for taxidermy because it wasn't the result that she was hoping for, and then it was causing a disruption in her household of living animals. So we kind of have to bring up those things with pet owners when they are bringing up these types of after-death care options. They are options that are available, and we have to make sure that we're able to support pet owners through that if that's what they choose to do. The Pet Loss Professionals Alliance is an organization that dictates to us or helps to support veterinary professionals. What they tell us is the guidelines that we need to be adhering for death and for after-death body care options. The PLPA is a division of the International Cemetery, Crematory, and Funeral Association, and the PLPA upholds the same things that the ICCFA upholds for human cremation and human burial. What the PLPA basically tells us is that any amount of respect bestowed on a human being should also be bestowed upon an animal when they pass away. So the PLPA expects that we handle animal bodies and animal remains with respect and with dignity. And people who choose to be a member of the PLPA are saying, yes, I agree that our animals deserve to be treated with the same respect that humans are treated with in death. So the PLPA have provided their reference on their website here if you want to take a look through their website. They actually have some very good pet loss resources available, and they can help veterinary hospitals get pet loss resources set up at the hospital so that we can have good places to refer pet owners to when we need pet loss support.